Hey there, YouTube fans. How you going? I've spent most of the day doing a test for blood sugars. They had me in hospital for 5 hours, and I tested on having just a piece of steak, piece of meat, and then that was around like 9:30, something like that. And they tested my blood sugar all day until 3, and it was very close to the Libre sensor um, constant glucose monitor on my arm, and sometimes almost exactly the same. There is a delay between those two things, but more accurate than I thought it was. Uh, and but here's the thing, right? The highest they found was 7.1 or something millimoles per liter, which is the Australian and English uh, system, and the lowest they found was 4.9. So, what this tells me, this kind of data is something happening at home when I have um, uh, uh, maybe a liquid and some kind of food. So, for example, having a sweet and salty popcorn. Almost instantaneously, the alarm goes off on my phone and it goes really, really low for blood sugar when that happens in the threes. And I'm not exactly sure what that's all about. And possibly it's because I was drinking also at the same time liquids, but that's not a fact. But something happens when I have something like that. Um, when I've had a piece of chicken in the morning on its own, and that's done the low blood sugar as well. So it's really strange. I think the answer is pointing more and more and more to reactive hyperglycemia. So I'm reacting to some kind of food. These tests that I've had, so where I've been sitting in the pathologist and having just Diet Coke, which I thought had an insulin response, and it may have, and that and my blood sugar was like 5.6. And then at the hospital again, as I said today, had the piece of steak, and it's um, between 7.1 and 4.9, which is completely normal. So it's really hard to get my body to fault in an unusual, in a hospital or clinical setting. And part of the reason this morning I was stressed out of my brain, I didn't sleep properly. My my glucometer was showing up really high, in the eights, just turning up there on an empty stomach. So yeah, very, very weird what's going on with me, but there absolutely is some kind of blood sugar issue because the oral glucose tolerance test definitely picked up abnormalities along the way. Uh, I'll keep you posted. I go see the endocrinologist, and I'm afraid that they'll think I'm crazy because this data is not showing up. But they did test also the C peptide and the insulin levels at the same time. So maybe there's something irregular there during this 5 hour test today. Um, the C peptide is byproduct of um, insulin, secreting insulin, and I think it has something to do with your beta cells in the pancreas as well. And apparently there is some kind of relationship between that and cortisol. Quite complicated little creatures that we are. So that's where I'm at with today's 5 hour test. All right, hope that is interesting. This is a little diary. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Teach yourself out. God bless.